Hey, good evening, Chance. So it's Maverick here with yeah a live stream about the brand new add-on for ARMA 2, the AH-64D. It came out yesterday. It's a pretty huge deal. It's from Nodunit and Franze. They were working on it for about 3 years. They had it planned for about 10 years, ever since Operation Flashpoint, like the original game by Bohemia Interactive. Yeah, it was a long wait, but finally it's here. I had kind of trouble before to setting up the whole live stream thing because I used XSplit, but the free version, and I was not able to broadcast like directly from the game, so I have to use windowed mode. It works for the most new games because you can enable a full screen windowed mode, but not for ARMA 2. So I had quite a bit of problems. I announced it, then I realized it didn't work. I canceled it, and now what I did actually was to buy a 36 months subscription to XSplit. That cost me about $90, but I guess it's gonna be worth it, and because from now on I can stream from all the games directly because it's no longer the free version with limited access to some feature. So yeah, the mod is pretty awesome. It's really a simulation thing. It basically converts the Apache, like the pre-arcade Apache from ARMA 2, into a really decently animated and almost fully working aircraft. It's kind of a mix between Bohemia's take on helicopters and a flight sim game from the DCS series. So you can really do a lot more stuff. It's not arcade style, so if you're really like the arcade player and if you like how simple it is to fly aircrafts in ARMA, you might not become a huge fan of this mod. But if you also, next to combat simulations or military simulations such as ARMA, also like to play flight sims or military aircraft sims like DCS A10 or Black Shark, I guess you're gonna love this one. So I guess we're gonna go right into the game and yeah, kick off with some footage. You can download the mod from Armaholic or also from the BI forums. I posted the links for you there if you wanna give it a try maybe later. The whole thing comes also with a online manual. I'm gonna show you that really quick. There it goes. Also posted there the website. It's a pretty huge thing. You get a lot of information about the Apache itself, about its history, how it was developed and stuff, and then you get some credits here. Obviously you get chapter selection like main, aircraft overview, cockpit and systems, aircraft operations, flight school, combat campaign editor, and miscellaneous. So a lot of information, and you will definitely have to go through that because I only played about 3 hours, I'd say, this morning, and it already takes a while just to figure out how to start the engines. So it's really an advanced mod. You can almost not tell that it is a mod. So great job by the development team there. It's really insane. So a lot of information, also cockpit and systems, because pretty much everything is working. You get multifunctional displays. You get a lot of buttons and switches that you can activate or interact with. But it's not arcade anymore. You cannot compare it to the original Apache in ARMA 2. So that's just FYI. You're gonna have to give that a read. Otherwise, you're probably gonna be trying and just get frustrated and maybe even give up. All right. So back to the game. The whole thing comes with some missions. You get some co-op multiplayer missions. You get like a competitive multiplayer mission, and there's also a few training missions. So I'm just gonna go here in single player campaign, and then here you get tarnished gold. I guess this is like a combat campaign about the whole thing, or with those Apaches. And then here's 64D training. We're just gonna hop on that and have a quick look at the aircraft, and I'm just gonna show you how great the creators even created those training missions, because they're also voice animated, you know. You can barely tell that it's a mod really. I'm just gonna head over to the training base. No, I'm just gonna restart it from scratch, so you can get a good look at the whole thing. Feel free to leave a comment or something, or ask a question. As already mentioned, I only played about 3 hours, so I'm not really like very into it, and I cannot probably explain you a lot of complex questions and stuff. I'm still really getting used to the basics, you know. Oh, pretty nice intro cutscene, and then on this screen you get a few like tutorial missions that you can select. You get overview, defenses, like flares, jabs, and all that, navigation, reference, I'm not sure what that is, night orientation, and weapons. I'm just gonna head over to free flight, and then we can take this baby out for a spin really quick.
This is a free flight mission. You are free to practice and fly around with no consequences. Have fun.
I guess we're gonna do that. As already mentioned before, this is like, yeah, how those tutorials work. You get subtitles. You have like the voice that is probably one of the developers' voices. Yeah, they recorded that, they implemented that. It's really a mod on a extremely high level. I've never seen anything like it in ARMA, even though a lot of modders do really great content, but there's really, in my opinion, there's nothing that comes close to this one so far. So this is the Apache. Pretty sweet model. Really detailed, you know. We even get like track cars messing around. Hold on. There you go. Radar warning and all that, so you get brighting. It's so detailed, you know. Rocket pods. There's two versions so far. Both are AH-64Ds, but one is the Longbow version with this radar thingy on top. This is the Longbow radar. And then there's another one without that radar. But other than that, they're pretty much the same. As I read on the BI forums, they intend to release another Apache version. I think the A version, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, a little bit later, maybe in a few weeks or so. So that's already pretty nice to have a look at from the outside. The gunner's already sitting in there. Really nice here as well. You can like open the doors. You don't have to get in. You can get in without opening them, but it's still a nice feature, even if animated with sound effects. And then here you can sit. You can ride in the back, and then you're actually like sitting here on the side. I'm not sure what it's good for, but it's definitely fun to do that. I guess you could also fly around like that, but I wouldn't want to be the guy sitting outside here. Alright, let's hop in. Get in as pilot. So this is the cockpit view. I'm using track IR, that's why I keep moving my head around, if you see that also on the webcam. So that's track IR support, really effective with this mod, but also in the vanilla ARMA, obviously. So this is the cockpit view. It's kind of a mix. Basically, the controls are kind of mixed. You can do a lot of things from the scroll menu here. If I use the scroll wheel, you can enable, disable a lot of stuff, and a few things are also like with hotkeys, you know, for the keyboard and stuff. You can also modify them, and then you can also interact with the cockpit directly. So if I look around here and place the cursor like on some buttons, I can interact with them. If it's like blue, it's indicated by that blue marker thing, and then I can click the buttons. I can basically here, for example, scroll through the different menu features. Same here. Can change some stuff. I can interact with some of the buttons. Back here, for example, is the cockpit lighting. So I can turn on cockpit lighting, especially for night ops, obviously. So that's, yeah, you get multiple options how to interact with the cockpit and how to interact with the warning, with the vehicle or with the aircraft. Just gonna set up my displays here for flying. This is like the weapon indicator.
Magazine.
So here, if I switch the weapon, you see it's changing the indication. Now I got the Hellfire
Magazine.
selected. Now I got the gun selected.
Rockets.
The rocket pods.
Magazine.
And on each and every weapon, I can also change a few things. So here, for example, the burst limit for the cannon. I can again here click on that to change it. It's indicated by that blue line around it. Now it's 20 round burst, 50 round burst. But I can also use a hotkey, which is B for binoculars, to scroll through those burst to those burst options, you know. So you can do a lot of stuff. That's just a few features I already tried today. But as mentioned, you really have to go into it in detail, play through those tutorials, and also have a look at that online manual to gather all the information. And then after that, it's really just trying, you know. So before we take off, I want to show you the aiming or the arming system. This is an awesome feature. If you're standing close to a repair truck, I think, or an ammunition truck or so, as it is over there, you should get the arming option in the scroll wheel. So you hit that, and then this menu appears. And this is really awesome. I'm surprised, or no, I'm not surprised, but I think this is something that BIS should have come up with like years ago. There is something similar in ACE, but not as detailed as this one right here. So this is the arming system. Here you get like your aircraft, you get a few different or a few slots, and then you can choose the rocket pods and all that, and you can choose even the missile types, especially for Hellfires. There's like 5 or 6 Hellfire types here. The AGM-114A, C, K, L, M, and N. I'm not even sure what all those do. They have different like warheads, you know, and the target seeking hardware is different, you know. So really, you have to read the manual. I didn't have time to do that. Those are rockets for the rocket pod. Also here, different ammunition. You can click on them and read a few things. You get some information. You get stinger pods, and you get the extra fuel tanks that you can attach to like the mini wings here, the pods on the side. If you have like a mission where you have to fly really far, but I guess that's not really a problem on the ARMA maps. So I'm just gonna gear up really quick. So what you do is to click here on the rocket pod, for example. You put it here in the loading area. Then you can select the weapon or missile type. I'm gonna go for the AGM-114K, I think it is. And here I got those 4 slots. I can click on that. I can load. Now I have 2 loaded. I can load up to 4 per pod. I can also load 2 and 2, or yeah, whatever combination I want. And then now once I have that loading in the loading area, once I have that configured, I can select those pods, and it's going to load this equipment on the pod. If I want to switch to another missile, I can do that here. Use the L version, replace it, and then place that baby over here into pod 4. Rocket pods for unguided rockets. Just going to go with M151. Only like 3 slots here because I think per pod you have 18 rockets, and like it's grouped in 6 rockets, so 3 times 6 is 18. You can configure that. Oh, that was not it. Yeah, there you go. Loading area, 2 of those. You cannot like change the ammunition for the gun. This is already a combat mix as far as I know. So yeah, every other round has a different function. Okay, HE and the armor piercing and all that. Now once you got your loadout ready, I forgot the stingers. Nope, that's probably not gonna work. Stinger pods here and then here. There you go. Once you got your loadout ready, you hit load. You get a message lower left corner, standby loading, and then it's going to do something. Down here you can either close it or hit a repair and refuel button. This is kind of weird because whenever you place, or for me at least so far, whenever I placed one of those aircrafts in the editor to just like test something, they always spawned without any fuel. Don't ask me why. I wasn't able to actually fix it. Even here, when I had one of those ammo trucks next to me and hit that button, the message stated that it was repaired and refueled, but the fuel did not change in the aircraft, so I could not take off. I couldn't even start the engine. I guess other people have similar problems. I've not figured out what the problem is, or I don't have a solution for it just yet. But at least those training missions, they work so far. So I'm gonna probably have to use that live stream here to show you a few of those training missions. So I got my loadout ready. If I close now, I'm just gonna head out in the third person view. So there are those missiles on the right side now. On the left side are the K, the HM-114Ks. Here the Ls, I think, with the white tip. I got the Stinger pods on the wingtips, and also the rocket pods underneath. So that's already working pretty well. Now I'm going to show you just how detailed the animations are for the aircrafts, like avionics, if you want to call it that. By the way, don't blame me for not using correct words and terms and all that. I'm not a freaking Apache pilot in real life, so I'm just gonna say the stuff I know, you know. But yeah, don't start hating me for not using correct terms. I'm just gonna like toggle off the where it is, the FCR, which is like the HUD, if I'm correct. I'm not sure what it means. No, that wasn't it. No, that's not the HUD. The HUD is this right here, the AH-64D. You can toggle that off, so you have a good view on the aircraft. So now what am I gonna do? I don't want to turn it on, but it's probably gonna turn on if I hit the throttle too hard. Yeah. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to show you just how detailed the animation of the rotor blades and stuff is. So if you don't have any fuel and you try to like start the engine and hit the throttle, if you have a throttle stick as I do, you can actually see how the rotor blades turn, you know, because the RPM is usually the same on a helicopter, but the more angle you give on the rotor blades, the more lift it creates, you know. So you can actually see that. You can just move up your throttle up and down, and you can see how those things are changing. If I use my stick now to like simulate the flight controls, you can also see how the stuff is moving. So I'm using a bank now, left, right. You can see how the blades are moving, and also like underneath, how the whole mechanics, you know, how all of that works. So that's already pretty amazing how detailed the animations are. If you look at the tail rotor, if I use my paddles now, you can also see how the blades are moving. I guess you can see it. I hope so. So this is just like absolutely stunning, you know, how much detail and how much work they put into this add-on. It's absolutely incredible. Another thing I want to show you really quick before we fly is the gun controls. Hold on. I'm gonna just, I think I have to enable manual fire.
Manual fire.
And then I have to use the scroll option, toggle gun control. Yeah, I guess it's kind of hard to see, but now I'm kind of controlling the gun with my head movement with track IR. You can see it's moving a little bit. Now I'm looking to the right, and the gun is also pointing to the right. If I turn my head to the left, the gun is moving to the left. If I enable the HUD again, where the hell was it? There. I'm gonna really quickly disable gun control. I should have disabled it. No. Now it did. Now the gun is just pointing forward, you know. If I fire some rounds, which I can because I have manual fire on, they just go like AWOL, you know, out in the blue there. If I enable the gun control, fucking hell, the crosshairs is kind of aligned to my crosshair now, so you got like almost like two crosses there. If you can see that, I hope you can see it in the stream as well. So if I turn my head to the left, you see now where the gun is pointing, and I can aim with my head and fire over there. What burst limit? Oh, I get the 10 round burst limit on. So this is already a really awesome feature, and if you're playing with AI, you can use manual fire and like toggle the gun controls like that, and then if you got track IR, it's really awesome. You can also use it with the free look thing on your keyboard, you know, and then use the mouse to aim, but I guess then it's kind of hard to control the aircraft. With track IR, I can use my joystick and all that to fly the aircraft, fly a clean circle or something, or a clean turn, and then look inwards towards the AO with the track IR and engage targets that way. So really sophisticated stuff right there. I guess that's pretty much everything for a quick dry introduction. I'm just gonna try to set up my controls here, or my instruments for flying. You know, I gotta say I've not been in the pilot in the gunner seat actually. Do you first want to see flying, or should I really quick hop in the gunner seat and have a look at the content in there? Gonna leave you a second time to give a comment. I'm not sure what you can actually do from the gunner seat. I can also go for a quick flight and then switch to the gunner seat afterwards. Okay, gunner seat. Yeah, let's try that really quick. Oh, I probably can't. Yeah, I can. I'm not in control of that gunner because it's a training mission, not something I set up. I can't do it from here. Okay, now to turn it on, it's kind of, I wouldn't say weird, but basically on the left side here you get the aircraft controls. Here I already showed you the instrument lights, and then here you get like the battery switch. You get engine starter for engine 1 and 2. You get the APU switch, which is like the main generator, and then here you get throttle. And yeah, you could actually, well, you're supposed to be able to switch something here, but basically, personally, I have not been able to use them. Oh, now something happened. How did I do that? This is the rotor brake. Somehow I turned on the rotor brake now. It's not good. How can I turn it off? Shit. Oh, it's disabling automatically. Okay. So far so good. I still have no idea how those how to use those switches. They don't really do anything, unfortunately. This Apache is under a separate faction. Just go for Blue 4 and then you will have an extra faction. So it's running now. Here we get some information, fire information, throttle for example. If I hit throttle, you can see that, how many percent you got. Yeah, a lot of interesting information. Speed counter and all that. Also on the like the HUD here, you get speed counter, altitude. Basically, yeah, all you need.
Magazine. Magazine. Magazine.
Switching to, yeah, the gun. Alright, let's take off. Obviously, fully working, yeah, controls, movement. Let's just talk with the HUD for a second. And move in all the directions. It's pretty sensitive though. Another nice feature, if you like land, you can even see the suspensions on the wheels. At least the front wheels. Yeah, it's not really accurate on the ground, but it does its job. So let's head out for that first waypoint. This is just a free flight mission, so I don't have any tasks or whatever. So yeah, it's a beautiful model. I've not tested how fast it goes and all that. So we could try to like push it to the limits a bit. Excellent. What always kind of bothered me in the official games is all the HUD information that is displayed, you know, somewhere on your screen. With radar and all that, and here you have everything like realistically either on the HUD or on those displays underneath. So you don't have like an extra radar thing on the lower left or the top left corner or any ammunition indication. So it's clean, you know, and that's what I really like. It's not really that fast as it seems. Somewhere below. Oh, okay, it's knots. I'm not sure how much a knot is. You know how to like calculate it into kilometers per hour or miles per hour, but I think 150 knots is pretty fast if know the kilometers per hour value. Yeah, sound effects inside cockpit, outside cockpit. They don't like knock me out of my shoes, if you know what I mean. They're cool, they're good. The gun sounds not like super impressive. I can't tell if they're like more realistic than JSRS mod or so, but the JSRS mod has a lot more punch, if you know what I mean. So for the immersion, I like it better, but this might be more realistic. I've never been on the ground when an Apache was shooting at me, so I can't really tell how realistic they are here. Oh man. Yeah, my controls are not really set up for ARMA 2 because I have not played ever since I got my new PC. Oh my. But it's yeah, it's definitely different than flying in one of the standard Apaches. You still got your auto hover if you want to use that. Oh, did I already touch down? Oh, yeah. I already touched down. Okay. So much for a quick flight. I think I'm gonna switch to the editor quickly and hop in the gunner seat. Here goes. Like those are those two models. This is the same one as before, the Longbow version with the radar thingy, the radar bulb on top. And this is the other version without that radar. So here the fuel thing, as
Running out
mentioned
of fuel.
before, that thing spawns without any fuel. Don't ask me why. Even though on the left side there it says it does have fuel. Down here there's supposed to be fuel. Those are the tanks, but like this main tank or whatever, it doesn't have any fuel in it. Maybe can I do something here? No, nothing's happening. No. Okay, let's hop into the gunner seat really quick. Was actually the idea. This gunner. So this is the gunner cockpit view. Looks quite a bit different. I still got my my displays here a bit further away from each other, because in the main or in the center area is the thing where I actually put my head in, you know, to use the gun view. As it seems, it's kind of like an also an alternative cockpit. I don't know how it is in real life, if like the pilot is killed or so, if the gunner sort of can take over control. But it seems as if I have some of the same things here, like the idle switch, you know, for the engines. Although this guy doesn't have a stick, even though he's holding his hand like if he were. So yeah, here can switch the displays. as I want. And let's see what the gun view is doing. Oh my god, what the heck? I guess that is not what the fuck? Gun is inverted. With the gun view, at least. So if I had 0 on the numpad, which is usually the key, the button to get in the gun view, this happens, but it's like inverted. So if I want to go right, I get stuck here. And I can switch, or I can turn like below or inside the aircraft. What happens if I shoot? Oh. That's really weird. I guess I have to toggle gun control. Oh, what the hell? Something is like really weird here. I have no idea where I'm shooting. Uphill there. Yeah, something's really weird with that gun. Whenever I take gun view, it's kind of it's inverted or whatever. I have no idea what's going on. But this seems to be pretty much unusable. Super weird. So as a pilot, I try to refuel, so I go to arming here because I have like one of those trucks
Running out
behind
of
me.
fuel.
And here I have repair and refuel, and it says repaired and refueled, so it should be already completed, but nothing happens. I still have 0, and what is it called, LBMs or LBs, even though on the lower left display there it says that I have fuel. I can't really tell you what the problem is. I guess not everything is working 100% just yet. That's why I can't really show you anything except the thing that I mentioned before. If I hit the throttle, you see how the angle of the blades is changing to create more lift. Alright, let's get out. Aboard really quick. It's also if you spawn the helicopter like flying already with you in it as a pilot, it starts, and then because it has no fuel, the engine stops and you're gonna crash ASAP. So that doesn't work either. I guess we're gonna fly another scenario mission. No. Another campaign mission, maybe something in the training area, because I don't really feel confident to go into actual combat just yet, with just really very little practice. So I guess we're gonna have a look at the weapons, so you can maybe see a few of them being fired. Even in those tutorial missions you get basically the manual as it is online here from the map, so we can read some stuff, you can reread things about all the HUD information, because there are a lot of terms, you know, a lot of abbreviations which I'm not familiar with, so it's definitely cool or good if you can pause the game and check something on the map.
This mission will instruct you on the various weapon systems available and how to use them. Get into the pilot seat when you are ready to begin.
Alright.
Our first subject is the arming interface. When you get within a certain distance of a defined support unit, such as an ammo truck, you gain the action arming. Use this action now.
Guess that's what we've already done before.
The arming interface gives you a heads-on view of your aircraft and the available hardpoints. The Apache has 5 wingtips and stations 1 through 4. The list on the right side of the dialog contains all the ordnance available for the aircraft. Let's start. Select the M299 rack from the list. Click on the No Weapon icon in the center of the dialog. This places the M299 in the load area and allows you to select individual rails for loading of ordnance.
Too fast.
The rails are the dash lines and represent a forward view of the rack. Now select the AGM-114L from the ordnance list. Click the upper left rail dash in the loading area. Note that the dash is changed to an L. Click on the remaining dashes until they are all L. Next, click on the number 2 hardpoint orange. Note that now the hardpoint shows the rack or pod in place. Let's do an ordnance change. Select AGM-114K from the list. Click all the L's in the loading area. Note that they all change to K. Click on the number 3 hardpoint blue. Now your number 2 and 3 hardpoints have L and K hellfires respectively. Let's load up some rockets. Pick the M261 rocket pod from the list. Click on the center of the dialog. Select M151 rockets from the list.
Too fast.
Click on the all K's in the center. Note that the K changes to 1. Click on the number 1 and number 4 stations, purple. Now your number 1 and number 4 stations are loaded up with 38 M151 rockets. Last part. Select Addis from the list.
No, I read the comment. I missed this one.
Place it in the loading area and click on the wingtip stations. Green. You are now ready to load your desired ordnance. Click the load button and wait for the on-screen message indicating weapons ready. When loaded, close the menu.
Okay, just checking out with the comments real quick. I guess most of them I've already answered. The Apaches are not really in a separate faction, or not in a US or USMC vehicle faction. They are in, as soon as you hit blue for it, you should see them. And you can spawn them in the editor, but as stated before, there are a few problems. Apparently, I have not been able to
now your
figure out
weapons have been loaded and you're all ready for bear. If you run out of ammo or need to reload, return here and use the arming interface to reload. Let's move on to weapon cockpit functions. The key to weapons is on the WPN page. Cycle your left MPD to the WPN page.
So WPN will be the weapon page here. I can either use this button
the weapons
or also
displays the various
hotkeys.
Weaponry you have loaded in all special settings for a particular weapon system. It is more verbose than the information displayed on the HDU and will be a valuable tool in combat. If you're looking for more detailed weapon specs, read the manual. This mission is about usage of weaponry and how to hit your targets and kill them. When the M230 is selected, the HDU displays gun, with the burst settings and round counter below that. The WPN page highlights the gun at the nose of the aircraft and displays the rounds remaining in brackets the current burst setting. The gun by default is slave to the TADS, which gives the CPG full control of the weapon. Additional settings are HMD, Auto, and FXD. The gun acquisition source can be cycled with the User Action 3 key or by using the crosshair action on the ACQ button. Note that this setting also controls pylon elevation. The burst settings can be cycled with the binocular key or by using the crosshair action on the associated burst button. The next weapon system is rockets. When rockets are selected, the HDU will display RKT and a 3-letter character indicated program warhead type and quantity remaining. The WPN page will display counters for the quantity of rockets in each zone and the total number of rockets on board the aircraft. Additionally, rocket salvos are controlled by the binocular key or by using the crosshair action on the QTY button. The next weapon system are Hellfires. Hellfires come in 3 general variations: SAL-1, SAL-2, and RF. Refer to the manual for details on these variations. SAL missiles require a working TADS to acquire in self-designation, while RF missiles require a working FCR to acquire in Lobel mode. Modes are Lobel, Lol-dur, Lol-low, Lol-high. Refer to the manual for details on these modes. Launch modes are controlled by the binocular key, or by using the crosshair action on the Traj button. Cycle your right MPD to the TSD page. The TSD defaults to the ATK mode by default. This is the mode we want it in. ATK mode allows us to create PFZs and see targets on the battlefield. Note, however, that the TSD displays all targets regardless of side. The TSD is the primary source for targeting information. Refer to the manual for details on the TSD. Current target filter is cycled with the custom user 6 key, or by using the crosshair action on the filter button. The TSD range can be cycled with the custom user 7 key, or by using the crosshair action on the range buttons. Next, cycle your right MPD to the FCR page.
This shit's crazy. As you can see, a lot of words or a lot of terms or abbreviations. It's definitely going to take a while. If you just go through it, you hear it, but I guess you're not going to be able to really understand it unless you're a professional pilot. So it might even be a little bit intimidating, but I guess yeah. As the more you do it, the more you will get into it. Now I forgot what did he say?
The FCR page is useful to review what targets the FCR knows about. The FCR page can only display up to 16 targets. See the manual for more details on the FCR page. The FCR is turned on or off by the salute key. The 3 available sensor systems, TADS HMD, FCR-G, and FCR-A, can be cycled with the optics mode key. Now comes the fun part. Start your engines and fly to waypoint 2. The first weapon we'll look at is RF Hellfires. RF Hellfires require the FCR to be on to work in Lobel mode, but LOL mode does not. However, LOL mode will only track stationary targets. RF Hellfires are also the only true fire and forget Hellfires available. Once launched, no further input is required from the aircraft. SAL Hellfires, on the other hand, require a working TADS to self-designate. When launched, you must constantly track your target until impact. This only applies to a self-engagement. A remote engagement only requires that you launch the missile in the direction of the target. Also, SAL missiles only track when using the TADS HMD sensor. Taking a look at sensor systems, you have 3, FCR, TADS, and HMD. All input target data into your database, which is viewed on the TSD. The FCR only gathers data when turned on. You can leave it on even when in TADS HMD mode, and it will still scan for targets. The FCR operates in air or ground mode. The default is ground mode, indicated by FCR-G.
Fly over to the
Air mode
waypoint.
is FCR-A. However, TADS gathers data at all times thanks to your CPG. When he detects targets, he will add them to the database. Lastly, targets you see with your HMD are added to the database automatically.
A lot of information to process in just a few minutes. I'm gonna head over to the waypoint and maybe we can fire some of those Hellfires. Okay, the engine has to be running for that radar to start searching for targets. But now it does.
select your RF Hellfires. Turn on your FCR in ground mode and acquire an air defense radiation target on the range. It may take a few seconds to detect the targets.
I'm just gonna go into a hover here. Turn on auto hover. And some altitude. So you can see the FCR, that radar thing, has acquired a few targets now. He said something about switching in mode. Do anything? I was able to lock on. It's going to confirm there.
Now, make sure you have a good lock on your target. A solid box with no inhibit messages indicates a good lock. Launch when ready.
I do have the R Hellfire, so I'm just going to fire away. There it goes.
Note that the air defense target is no longer present on your TSD or your FCR displays. Now, turn your FCR off and switch to SAL Hellfires. Change your sensor to TADS HMD.
So here you get those vehicles. You can filter all vehicles. TRK is tracked, I think. RHG. No idea. Wheeled. Clear. But you can kind of select what kind of vehicles there are. You also have different symbols. You can change the scanning range of the radar. So you can to go to 5 clicks probably. This way I see them pretty nicely. You said switch to the L Hellfires. Turn off FCR. FCR throttle. TADS mode. And now. What now? SAL Hellfires, I think that's what I did. The L version ones. Change your sensor to TADS HMD. Got SAL 2. Can I do something here? Where's TADS? Can I do that here? Send There's so much stuff to do, I have no clue. It's really overwhelming. Ah, fucking pedals. Where the hell is Ted's? Sal, Hellfires, change your sense of Ted's. HMD.
Magazine. Magazine. Rockets.
Oh, that's
Magazine.
rockets. Can I change something here? Oh shit. Can't do anything here. No remote targets. Quite frankly, I have no idea what to do now. And I don't wanna bother you anymore with that, so I'm just gonna fly over there and use the rockets really quick. Maybe the guns again.
Manual fire.
Which one was it? Toggle gun control. All those lock-on modes and all that. What the instructor was talking about. That all depends on the kind of missile you're using. So I guess the R version is like the simplest one. You know, you turn on that FCR, that radar thing, and you can pretty much lock onto anything in the area. Switch to rockets. Oh, holy crap. Oh, I had quantity 24 selected. It's kind of insane. Ooh, this is dangerous. I guess it would be a good idea to actually have a gunner to maintain the gun and all that. So here the quantity, I'm just going to risk it and let it fly. QTY quantity, you can switch to one round first, 2, 4, 8, 12, 24 and all. And I had set it to 24, so that's why it's kind of an intense gun run there. Though I didn't hit anything, I guess. Depending on the weapon you've selected, you also get a different variety of options here in the scroll menu, you know. Or maybe depending on what kind of multifunctional display you got on. Broadcast. There's so much stuff. See map. Turn on the map. Gun is aiming somewhere out in the blue as well. Yeah, I really have to do some more training. As you can see, it's not just a simple add-on, you know, that that you're ready to use within a few minutes. It definitely is going to require some patience and some quality time to get used to all this stuff. I guess you're going to have an advantage if you're like really into those flight sims, if you play maybe DCSA 10 or so, then you might even know a lot of those terms, maybe even know those missiles already, because the HM missiles, they can also be fired from aircraft, several aircraft. So you might already be familiar. Also, if you have played ARMA 2 with ACE, a few things might be familiar, such as lock-on after, lock-on before launch, fire modes. Those are some words I'm familiar with already. But all this stuff, you know, that we have heard in the last few minutes, that's also new for me. That's really a beauty. No idea how extreme you can actually fly with it. Okay. Barrel roll. No idea if that's realistic. That's kind of weird, I'd say. It's a little bit too much. Paddle sensitivity is pretty high. Gotta get used to that. Sensitive. Oh! That was close. Let's park it before I crash it. Even on the ground it's turning with the fucking pedals. Yeah, so I guess that sums it up for that first part. As mentioned before, I only have about 2-3 hours of practice this morning. I haven't done a lot yet, and I really gotta read that manual and like familiarize myself with all those terms, because in the tutorial missions, if you mention something and you don't really get it, even though you can reread it here, I mean, what the FCR is, I know that by now, and the cell hellfires, yeah, okay, but TATS HMD, and even with those cell hellfires, I got those like modes here, sal 1, whatever. If I switch to the L version, I got sal 2. But yeah, that's about it. I don't know what else to do. So I gotta get more into that a little bit more into details, and then maybe once I'm really familiar with the content, I can maybe do another stream, another video, or even a tutorial or something. But as for now, yeah, I'm gonna call it a night here. I'm gonna stop that broadcast. I guess you were able to see a bit of this add-on. You know, I can't even get out. Where the fuck is the get out option? Am I blind? Fuck it. Yeah, you were able to see the aircraft, to see the model, how it looks, how detailed it is, you know, with all this, all the mechanics that are fully animated, how the rotor is moving and all that. You got a good view on the cockpit, we know, with all the functions, all the working buttons, and you've seen some of those campaign training missions, or basically, yeah, one of them. So it's really excellent how detailed everything is, and how much it's insane, I guess, how much work the developers put into this add-on. Which is, it's not a full game. It's not like, yeah, it's an add-on, and you get it for free. So if you're really into simulating or simulation games, flight simulators and whatnot, you should definitely get this add-on. But if you're more the standard ARMA player who likes the flight models to be more arcadey and easy to use, you can still give it a try. It's free, but I guess you're not gonna like it that much. So I'm just gonna check up the comments again really quick. There's not been too much, I think. Yeah, you can just sit in here and click buttons all you want, but I'm not sure if you're gonna get really far. But that's if you want to do it that way, feel free to do so. Yeah, the flight physics, sure, they're kind of, I guess that's all, up to some point they're given by the developers or by the engine. I have no idea. I'm not an add-on creator. I've never tried anything like that, so I cannot tell how much influence the creators of this specific add-on had, or were able to, yeah, how much they were able to influence the whole physics. That's not my thing to judge that. Yeah, open file door, I can do that, but it shouldn't be necessary to open the doors to get out. It wasn't up until now anyways.
Cancel manual fire.
It might be blocked because I'm supposed to be, or I'm still in that training mission, you know, and I was supposed to do something here, and maybe because of that it's the option is kind of blocked out. It's not displayed. This could be the reason. Yeah, as I said multiple times, it's a really great add-on. I do advise you to download it. The download link is like right at the top on the comment section here on the live stream on Twitch. You can also Google it or search for it on the BIS Armaholic forums, probably other forums as well. Check it out, and yeah, have a good time with it. So I guess I'm out. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, good evening, gents. So it's Maverick here with a live stream about the brand new add-on for Arma 2, the AH-64D. It came out yesterday. It's a pretty huge deal. It's from Nodunit and Franze. They were working on it for about 3 years. They had it planned for about 10 years, ever since Operation Flashpoint, like the original game by Bohemia Interactive. Yeah, it was a long wait, but finally it's here. I had kind of trouble before to setting up the whole live stream thing because I used XSplit, but the free version, and I was not able to broadcast like directly from the game, so I have to use windowed mode. It works for the most new games because you can enable a full screen windowed mode, but not for ARMA 2. So I had quite a bit of problems. I announced it, then I realized it didn't work. I canceled it, and now what I did actually was to buy a 36 months subscription to XSplit. That cost me about $90, but I guess it's gonna be worth it, and because from now on I can stream from all the games directly, because it's no longer the free version with limited access to some feature. So yeah, the mod is pretty awesome. It's really a simulation thing. It basically converts the... I'm just gonna restart it from scratch so you get a good look at the whole thing. Feel free to leave a comment or something, or ask a question. As already mentioned, I only played about 3 hours, so I'm not really like very into it, and I cannot probably explain you a lot of complex questions and stuff. I'm still really getting used to the basics, you know. A pretty nice intro cutscene, and then on this screen you get a few like tutorial missions that you can select. You get overview, defenses like flares, jeffs, and all that, navigation, reference, I'm not sure what that is, night orientation, the Apache, like the pre-arcade Apache from ARMA 2 into a really decently animated and almost fully working aircraft. It's kind of a mix between Bohemia's take on helicopters and a flight sim game from the DCS series. So you can really do a lot more stuff. It's not arcade style, so if you're really like the arcade player and if you like how simple it is to fly aircrafts in ARMA, you might not become a huge fan of this mod. But if you also, next to combat simulations or military simulations such as ARMA, also like to play flight sims or military aircraft sims like DCS A10 or Black Shark, I guess you're gonna love this one. So I guess we're gonna go right into the game and yeah, kick off with some footage. You can download the mod from Armaholic or also from the BI forums. I posted the links for you there if you wanna give it a try maybe later. The whole thing comes also with a online manual. I'm going to show you that really quick. There it goes. Also posted there, the website. It's a pretty huge thing. You get a lot of information about the Apache itself, about its history, how it was developed and stuff. And then you get some credits here, obviously. You get chapter selection like main, aircraft overview, cockpit and systems, aircraft operations, flight school, combat campaign editor, and miscellaneous. So a lot of information, and you will definitely have to go through that, because I only played about 3 hours, I'd say, this morning, and it already takes a while just to figure out how to start the engines. So it's really an advanced mod. You can almost not tell that it is a mod. So great job by the development team there. It's really insane. So a lot of information, also cockpit and systems, because pretty much everything is working. You get multifunctional displays. You get a lot of buttons and switches that you can activate or interact with. But it's not arcade anymore. You cannot compare it to the original to the original Apache and ARMA 2. So that's just FYI. You're gonna have to give that a read, otherwise you're probably gonna be trying and just get frustrated and maybe even give up. Alright, so back to the game. The whole thing comes with some missions. You get some co-op multiplayer missions. You get like a competitive multiplayer mission, and there's also a few training missions. So I'm just gonna go here in single player campaign, and then here you get tarnished gold. I guess this is like a combat campaign about the whole thing, or with those Apaches. And then here AH-64D training. We're just gonna hop on that and have a quick look at the aircraft, and I'm just gonna show you how great the creators even created those training missions, because they're also voice animated. You know, you can barely tell that it's a mod really. I'm just gonna head over to the training base. No, I'm just gonna go and weapons. I'm just gonna head over to free flight, and then we can take this baby out for a spin really quick.
This is a free flight mission. You are free to practice and fly around with no consequences. Have fun.
I guess we're gonna do that. As already mentioned before, this is like, yeah, how those tutorials work. You get subtitles. You have like the voice that is probably one of the developers' voices. Yeah, they recorded that, they implemented that. It's really a mod on a extremely high level. I've never seen anything like it in ARMA. Even though a lot of modders do really great content, but there's really, in my opinion, there's nothing that comes close to this one so far. So this is the Apache. Pretty sweet model. Really detailed, you know. We even get like track cars messing around. Hold on. There you go. Radar warning and all that. So you get riding. It's so detailed, you know. Rocket pods. There's two versions so far. Both are AH-64Ds, but one is the Longbow version with this radar thingy on top. This is the Longbow radar, and then there's another one without that radar. But other than that, they're pretty much the same. As I read on the BI forums, they intend to release another Apache version. I think the A version, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, a little bit later, maybe in a few weeks or so. So that's all.